So my name is Martin Muller. I'm originally from Germany, as you probably expect. Just moved to Portugal in February with my cute little family. So we live a little bit outside Lisbon in Costa de Caparica. It's really awesome. We love Portugal. Nice food, nice weather, and lovely people. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, so I work with AWS since 2017. Little disclaimer here. Oh, okay, here. So I'm not a data engineering expert or ML expert. I would say more like a DevOps full stack engineer. I'm like super biased to AWS. I think there are other cloud providers, of course, you can use for your AI experience, but I think AWS is a really nice developer builder experience. You know, you can use this different service, chunk them together, have pretty cool infrastructure as code stuff like CDK, where you can use TypeScript, you know, to do your stuff with AWS and create your Llama. So it's a really cool experience. LangChain is still quite new to me, and I'm still looking for cool use cases, perhaps for clients, for like use them in a good use case. Yeah, so come to me if you have one. Shortly to the agenda. So very shortly about LangChain, what it is, because we heard a lot of it from Guido already. Why you should run it on AWS. A demo, and this is what I prepared in the last days. I was not 100% that what I wanted, but I want to show you like a local LLM as well, and then at the end a bit reflecting and QA. Okay, so what is a LangChain? So we was already hearing a lot of it. So it's more like a framework or library for interacting with LLMs programmatically. I think this programmatically is very good to explain it, because I mean, I guess everyone or almost everyone is using ChatGPT. I think that's really awesome, but it has its limits. You know, if you want to use it for a product, that's hard. You know, if you just have this text input and do something with it, so you want to do something programmatically with it. And yeah, LangChain is a really good way of doing that. It's a really cool abstractions. Like we hit some cool abstraction ideas, like the memory, the chaining, the prompting, the vector machines, and all that stuff. So I think that's really good ideas they have there. And yeah, that just extends the possibilities you can do with LLMs by a lot, totally. And I think what's really cool, it offers a library, we was hearing this as well in Python and JavaScript/TypeScript. I'm more like the JavaScript TypeScript fan, so I was really happy to jump on that. And yeah, I think and this is like a cool feature as well, because it kind of opens a barrier for like people who didn't use Python too much, you know, and get curious about like AI, how to use it. So I think this can be a good entry point, yeah, to do just with TypeScript. And all the other infrastructure as code stuff, what I do with AWS is with TypeScript as well. So and even like when I build the front end is in TypeScript, so everything is in TypeScript. So that kind of makes it more easy, yeah, to do stuff, to do cool stuff. And we heard about some of those features, so I will not speak too much about them. We heard about chains, how you can like chunk different or yeah, maybe different LLMs together. Yeah, so we heard about the idea about memory, where you can persist your conversation you have with your AI into storage and reuse them for providing context to your discussion with AI, perhaps. We hear about the agents. I think this is was the amazing examples with the agents. I think it was a really good one. Maybe perhaps what's cool as well, I think the LLMs are still struggling a little bit with mathematics. So you can use like a mathematics API, so to help with that as well. And vector machines, I think it's pretty cool as well. So this is kind of a way how you can train the models with like providing your data you have, yeah, when you have a set of data, a set of files or whatever, putting them into a vector database, and then providing that as a context basically for the LLM to use it as context. So it's kind of training it, but it's not really, because training for me is when you like recreate the model, you know. So, but it's a very cheap and cool way how to put some context to it, yeah, and using a vector machine or a vector database in this case. Yeah, I forgot to mention, feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. I think I prefer more this like interactive discussion, so instead of at the end. So yeah, any questions so far about this kind of telling again what we already heard? Awesome. So a little bit I told why I like AWS. So yeah, let's face it, yeah, if you want to run something, your laptop is not production ready, yeah, so you need something to serve your clients when they make some requests or want to do something with your app or with your product or whatever. And usually it should be an external service, and in this case, AWS is a very good cloud provider where you just can run. They have cool concepts like serverless, where you really just pay what you use, yeah. So and if no one is using your app, you pay nothing. So I really can recommend that serverless services, and it's really easy to integrate them. It feels a bit like playing with Lego. Yeah, you have those different services, chunk them together. Yeah, this one has an output, there's an input, and yeah, you can build some cool applications. Some example services you probably heard of is like S3. An object storage where you can put in your video files, your pictures, and as well you can host your website on it when you have a single page app. Yeah.
I have a question, because like this assumes that you don't compare to others. Like, so why specifically AWS for you?
Yeah.
Versus Replit or something? Because I haven't done anything with AWS.
Yeah,
it feels daunting.
Yeah.
And then there's other things that seem more easy for me, but like I
yeah.
don't know now why you think this is.
Yeah, the good question. Yeah, did not do much on other clouds as well, but I did something, and I really think the infrastructure as code experience with like TypeScript, it's uncomparable. You know, maybe it's close with like Pulumi, but Pulumi is missing some parts. Yeah, with those CDK constructs there, level 2, level 3. So it gives you really like few lines of code. In TypeScript code, you can have spin up amazing stuff in AWS. So I think really the builder experience is still what's kind of highlighting AWS. Yeah. And I mean, they have a huge offering. Yeah. So I mean, they are still like the leader. Yeah. So I mean, the ratio is like declining slowly, but they are still the leader. So you are benefiting from a price cut usually. Yeah. So and a very generous free tier as well, yeah. So you might not even reach the free tier if you're just like playing around a bit. So yeah, just the build experience to mainly answer that. Yeah. And yeah, some other cloud front is a CDN, a global distribution network, to serve your static files very quickly. Yeah, everywhere in the world. Yeah, if you have like your website or a DynamoDB is a serverless database. Where you just can store some data in it, a bit like Redis or stuff like that, but globally distributed, or like the fancy relational database hosting service RDS, where you can host your Postgres or MySQL on AWS, and they take off a lot of ops stuff, let's say, yeah, the maintenance of the operation system, backup stuff, and snapshots and stuff like that. Just to name a few, I mean, there are a lot of more. Okay, let's go to the delicious part, the LangChain demo. I like to work with diagrams, so I kind of try to, in an abstract way, show what I was programming. So you can see all this code on my GitHub there. I will update the presentation there as well and store it there, and put it in the meetup chat as well, so that you can find the link. What you can see here is like 2 lambdas. That's basically endpoints in AWS, post endpoints in this case, where you just can send a request and get a response. Yeah, so I have 2 lambdas here. So the first two cases I want to show. The first one is like the chaining example, what we just saw before here in the talk. And I'm very similar with food here as well. So I want to open a restaurant where you get an input for a cuisine, like Italian or German or what, and suggest a fancy name for this restaurant. And then we take this restaurant name as an input for the second prompt, that I just want to suggest some menu items for the restaurant name, and return it as a comma-separated string. And yeah, those are 2, the prompts are chained, and I will get back the restaurant name and the suggestions for menu items. And let's do that. Hope that's big enough. Is that big enough? You can see here. So I mean, there's a short description in the README just about the first LangChain app. Let's say with the prompt, the same there again. And how I will speak to my endpoint is just with I'm sending a request there. I will send a request. You can see here my input, the cuisine, I will put German here. That's my Lambda endpoint, and I will just send that. And let's see what it will answer me. So, okay. So yeah, you can see here the response. So, and yeah, some nice answers. Here's a restaurant name. Appetit, Restaurant Guten Appetit, that's a good one. And some menu items, bratwurst, schnitzel, potato, and so on. Yeah, so that looks good. Let's see if that was not prepared. What should we, I think I never did this one. I think I don't know how to, anyway, okay, that's something else. I think Spain. So yeah, what just happened, we sent the request to Lambda using the LangChain library to chaining that and getting the response. Yeah, here pretty similar. The restaurant name, Tapas Vinos, and some meals. Okay. Awesome. So that was the first example. Here, now the second one doesn't have a chaining. It just has like just the first prompt we saw before. Just suggest a fancy name for this. But I will attach a memory this time to it. We was hearing about the memory, but here you will see it more in the application. So, and LangChain already provides me with a library how to just like chunk in the DynamoDB database to save my chat there on DynamoDB. So, and to associate who was chatting with me, I was putting a second parameter here. As a user, Martin here. And then we will see, okay, it will store this chat conversation or the context in DynamoDB as well. Okay, so just scroll down here. And I think it makes it a bit bigger. Okay. Yeah, you see here now a bit more as well. You see the answer, the name, Vita Restaurant Italiano. And you see as well, no. Okay, this is not, I think, yeah, the name is just, okay, so I will now send a second question, but this time with another one. Italian, what else? Maybe French.
What is the difference this time?
It's just that I'm asking now for French. Before I was asking for Italian here, and now this time I will ask for French. And the endpoint gives as well like back the memory. So as you can see now, the response contains the French answer here, and it still contains the old context as well, here Italian and others as well. And not that you think I was like tricking on you. I can as well see in DynamoDB. Here, run. See that the data is actually stored here. So here you have the context here as well. So it's stored in DynamoDB, and this just runs serverless. Yeah, when you need it, it runs. So you just need to pay for that, and you are not hitting the free tier here anyway. So you are not paying anything.
Basically, AWS has like a special engine for like inference. I think they have their own like internal chip they do for inference. Have you tried it?
Yeah. I guess that's not for. I mean, I'm using the ARM Lambda version here. So yeah, of course, if you are going into those bigger use cases, you totally should use, I guess, like SageMaker or something like that. There you can use those models from Hugging Face here as well. I wasn't playing too much around with SageMaker so far, but yeah, totally a fair point. Yeah, you shouldn't use probably Lambda for more like those compute intensive. But maybe they are more important when you train the model. I'm not sure how, you know.
Yes, I think like,
yeah.
so they have like the GPUs who can
Yeah,
use like
yeah.
H100.
Yeah, maybe for training, or?
Yeah,
like,
for training. But
yeah.
I think like they have one specifically for like inference. I never use it. I just
Yeah.
use it because
Yeah, good. I have no idea actually, but a very good question. Yeah, so I was just playing around. It bothered me even. I couldn't get it with running with TypeScript, so I had to use Python. So it worked. I guess now I would get it running, but I had 2 less days left, let's say, to prepare it in TypeScript. So yeah, but really good point. And I think another kind of advantage is you have more control about what you are doing there. If you just use like SageMaker, they are doing a lot out of the box for you. You cannot control too much, but with like Lambda, I feel more in control, you know, what I'm doing there and whatnot. And yeah, so there was another, sorry, this was okay? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So you call this a local LLM, but you still send it to...
Yeah, good.
Right? So
You can use it on your machine if you want, no problem. Would probably even run better than on Lambda. yeah, for sure.
what are you sort of...
I can show a bit the code if you want, or the it's like a Docker image which incubates.
I'm just wondering, why would you not do this? Why would you not send it to OpenAI? Because they cannot use your data.
Ah, good question.
So
yeah.
what is the difference? Is it less costly? Maybe is that?
Yeah. That's like one point perhaps. I think you are because AWS Lambda has a very generous free tier. I think it's like 1 million requests or something like that for free. So I think that's like one part of it. So you might get some.
This sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cost reduction. And if you have like more specialized models, yeah, they're not attempting perhaps to hallucinate so much, you know, they are more on the point, kind of, you know. And a lot of companies are concerned to send their data away, you know, because I mean, how OpenAI got so strong, because there was curling the web, yeah, they were crawling and getting everything. So now, anyway, the sites are starting to close more up, putting some paywalls and stuff like that, you know. You might, when any request and feedback you give to OpenAI, you are improving the model as well, right? So,
No.
yeah.
That's specifically in the terms of service, they cannot.
Yeah.
They cannot improve.
With the API perhaps, but I think with the chat interface,
That's not
yeah, yeah.
Putting a lot of trust in a private entity.
Yeah, but the same with Amazon. It's like
But,
it's a private entity.
But how are you like 100% sure? You know, they are really, you know. I mean, I totally feel you. You know, I prefer OpenAI as well. It's super fast.
No, but I think
Using
you
it.
made a good
Yeah.
point. That's why I asked. I think
Yeah.
it's very interesting that like you can have for low cost actually
Yeah.
optimized models.
Yeah. It's fun to play around with them. There to blink into that world, see what we can like do locally, play around with different models, and yeah, let's see. Yeah, just some reflecting. I think LangChain is pretty cool. It's a nice abstraction, has some nice ideas how to abstract stuff like what we had before with memory and chaining. I think what I want to mention here, I was on an AI meetup some weeks ago, had a similar talk there, and then someone was coming and was like, LangChain is not so nice, because you will run into problems. It's still quite early, yeah, if you go into production with it. But yeah, I mean, there's perfect opportunities. It's open source, you can contribute, you can make stuff better, you know. It's still like developing the framework. It needs your help. I think they have a pretty cool Discord there as well, where you can ask questions and get help. And yeah, we have this community here to help each other, so that's amazing. So yeah, as I mentioned, the library is early. Reach out, perfect opportunity. Yeah, so that's it.